It's only game one, folks. Are you kidding me? The challenge flag was thrown by Noot Noot, and they take Lotus. Triad. Something important that I kept in mind from what you said yesterday was that Noot Noot, they can form a snowball early and win a game off of that. So that kind of happened in game one, both a snowball in a good way and a bad way at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see a little bit of Noot Noot yesterday, and this was kind of what was happening, where they were yesterday in the match against these guys, they were getting part of 6 pistols. For this map, they won both of the pistols, and that gave them some early momentum to go on. Then they lost it in that second half. Things got scary, but I think it really shows the resilience for Noot Noot once they got back in the game after that melee clutch, going all the way to an overtime that seems like it was never gonna end, but again, showing how that momentum really pays off for the squad.
Well, you talk about a big snowball. I know a story of one. His name was Frosty the Snowman, and he melted when the heat was applied. Luckily, that heat wasn't applied for too long. Complexity sort of cooled off as they switched over to overtime. They still carried some of that momentum early, and Noot Noot was able to kind of get away with a little bit of an extra push towards the end to carry things across the finish line. But I do look at Complexity's rebound in the second half as at least a promising look. It was just kind of disappointing in the start. I think what really led them across the line was just the fact that Noot Noot's setup is pretty much designed to be oppressive on the attacking side. It very much reminds me of what you saw from like the guard during challengers, where it's like, all right, plant the spike now, run away, and good luck. You're never going to be able to do anything about it because we're just going to dump util and make it really hard. So Complexity kind of learned and started to play a little bit more aggressively on top of that, and that's what allowed them to start taking more rounds. I feel like they got maybe a little bit more pressure in the early round situation, trying to take players out of the equation, which frequently ended up being Summertime. It felt like Summertime was constantly getting dispatched up early, but when they were finding kills onto Millie or Malibu, that was some of key pieces for this attacking side that made it very difficult for Noot Noot to set up those post plays.
In that second half, we really got to see a lot of chances where Noot Noot had the control early on. They started to go with that snowball that we just talked about, but then there was a timeout for Complexity, and things started to get difficult. Noot Noot was running out of time in so many rounds. It was 2-3 rounds in a row where it was the same thing happening, and then Complexity going all together, pushing in, trying to get their first pick. That you were saying sometimes it was Summertime, sometimes it was Malibu. It was kind of here and there as Noot Noot was just trying to get set up across the map. But I think overall the control that Noot Noot had at the very end was what mattered to me the most, and it has to be a little bit demolishing to see a map that was so close yet so far to close it out for Complexity, and especially a map that they've always been good at.
And Bach, I learned from you. You gave me a good hosting tip of don't prepare notes until the game is over. And we were sitting back like, oh, it's a Noot game. And the Complexity started creeping up round after round. They had a streak going. And after a few timeouts, some light bulb turned on in Complexity's head. What allowed Complexity to kind of come back there almost at the end, Bach?
I really do think it was, hey, stop playing back so far. Maybe push your edges a little bit further. You saw it towards the tail end. They started to extend their play on C site. One of the rounds they ended up winning was when there was a lot of pressure towards rubble early on. Jazzy read that with the team and pushed all the way up past the orb on C long with an op and just waited and posted up. Ends up getting the kill, backs off with the blast pack. The ult gets popped from the other side from the Raze. The Raze can't find the opening, and the round sort of falls apart. They sort of just floundered over towards rubble, getting oppressed by the utility that was coming in from Complexity after they lost an early piece, and they realized, well, without that piece, that's going to be a whole lot harder for us to make this round work. It wasn't a full buy from them, so that's to be understood. They needed that utility. That was really key. Try to take out utility early because it is a utility-laden attack, and if you can find the right person, you can cripple that attacking side, and that's what Complexity was able to take advantage of as the half progressed. As they started to figure themselves out a little bit more, they were able to really realize what they needed to do. It's kind of what let them back into the game, but it's also what took them out of the game. They needed to do stuff like that sooner. They needed to adapt a little bit quicker. I think they were a little late on that timeout. I think they were a little late on figuring out what Noot Noot was doing, and that's what allowed Noot Noot to get to the amount of rounds that they did. But I don't want to take credit away from them. Noot Noot played well. They played strong. Their setup was working, and you can watch so many rounds where it's like Gravity Well, KJ Molly, Viper Molly, and it's like, man, you just lost 30 seconds. Like, how are you even supposed to defuse the spike? You can't even get near it.
I know, and what kept Noot Noot in the game when you thought, oh my god, are they choking? What is going on? And then you had this forever overtime. One person that really stood out, Dryad, was Millie. Love to zoom in on their stats. We talked about just a lot of new names and a lot of big names coming in, and to go up against a team like Complexity takes a lot of firepower, and Millie really brought that.
Yeah, Millie really had an impact on this game that I feel like even gave them the win of this map, because when things were getting really close and Complexity was about to really take that lead, maybe close at 11-13, that's when Millie got one of the biggest clutches that we saw, and a lot of control with again, when it was Noot Noot having difficulty in a couple of rounds, losing a couple of rounds in a row, the economy wasn't in the greatest place. They save a bunch of these ultimates, they save that Viper Spit, they decide to invest it, and then Millie is there in the right time to go for that swing and get those kills. So I think we saw this constantly for Millie, and I think it's a good highlight because yesterday we talked a lot about all of the other players, but Millie has always been there and was there for this map. And again, I feel like, the impact that she had is gonna potentially continue unbind as Complexity losing this map. When it's so close, that's when it hurts the most.
And how do you keep that composure? How do you keep that mental? Well, not a lot of time to think about it. Bind will be next, but Bach, this is Complexity's pick, although we thought Lotus was a strong one for them. Blood, sweat, and tears went into that last one, and now they got to get their stuff together for Bind. I know you were very heavily in favor of Complexity at the start of our pre-desk. How you feeling now, Bach?
I still feel like I give the nod to Complexity here. I think they can rebound and actually work quite nicely on Bind. If you look at their performances just in this event, 13-4 win over FlyQuest, 13-4 win over Wingman Patrol. Going back even further, they bested Misfits Black, they beat FlyQuest Red, but there's also an asterisk there. They got obliterated by version 1, 13-2. They got crushed by XZ 13-3. So it's kind of a mixed bag if you just go back through the year. Like, yeah, they've had good success on it recently. They've also had some pretty tough losses on the map. I do feel like they can bounce back. I like their setups on this map. I think we're going to be going to a map 3. I don't think Complexity is just going to roll over that easily and allow Noot Noot to just kind of skate on through. Yeah, it was a hard-fought battle. It wasn't exactly easy for Noot Noot to win that map, but Complexity here is going to apply a little bit more pressure. That'll make things difficult. I will say this, though. The Yoru pick on Bind is one that's always a little bit interesting, and I'm curious to see how Noot Noot decides to put that one into play.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted to talk to Dryad about, was Bind. Yes, Noot Noot won this against DSG, and it was off through Yoru, and I remember something you said, Dryad, is that it was really creative and very fun, but eventually got kind of predictable.
It's interesting because I actually really like this composition when we got to see Gesser from Noot Noot with this Yoru and this Raze being played both at the same time. This is where Malibu really gets to shine on the Raze, and I think it's such a cool head-to-head between Malibu and Jazzykins, that experienced veteran player that we know of so well, Jazzykins, but also Malibu, that up-and-coming player that we haven't heard much of, but has left us with a lot to say and a lot of excitement. So I think it's such a good map to watch this, and Noot Noot, they have a lot of cool ideas around this Yoru and around this Raze, a little bit around the hookah presence that they like to make in the extremities control that sometimes can get difficult with these two duelists, but they make it seem like it's an easy job. They did this yesterday against these guys.
Double duelist with a double controller is a really interesting look, and Yoru does get to have some fun playing around with those portals. I need to see it in action to know if it's going to be enough to best Complexity and prevent a map 3.
Well, let's see if Noot Noot are going to show you how to win with Yoru, or Complexity going to force the game 3. It's match point for Noot Noot, and the loser will not be going to the World Championship, and I can't think of two better casters to bring us through maybe another exciting map than Mimi and Wyatt.
Yeah, thanks very much to the desk, Wyatt. I am so excited to get into map 2 because Noot Noot, they proved their resiliency on Lotus, taking down their opponent's pick. But now we head into Bind, which is a map that has been so excellent for this squad.
Bit of a reversal from map 1, where both teams have decided to just pick a great map for the other. Complexity picking Bind into Noot Noot, who have only lost it one time in 2023, and that was to version 1, 11-13, just the other day. They are no joke on this map. So I'm expecting basically the same thing, where Complexity are picking this because they are ready to counter strat.
Well, let's see what they have prepared. Complexity was the runner-up of Game Changers last series, but they're on the ropes here. The chance to go to Brazil, to represent North America, is on the line for this squad. We'll have to see if they can get it done as we hop into map number 2.
We are seeing that Yoru taking early control of Shower, one of the common locations for this agent on the map when he is played.
Those rotates on the defensive side from the Yoru provide so much value here. You already see that gate crash queued up in the defender spawn. Will give very quick reactions for Noot Noot.
Flash coming into Fountain. Just a bit of info, and on the opposing side, this guy, Kara, clearing up into A with that dog, but still no serious map control gained by either side outside of Zan continuing to hold Shower as the Yoru there. But the gate crash is dissipated, so they won't have a third on the defensive side if the B hit comes through, which looks like it will.
It's fast into the site for Jazzy. She wants to wrap around and clear towards Octo, but the main worry is on that site. Summertime, well timed to swing forward and support carry, but it will be the site taken. Numbers disadvantage for Complexity here. They have to sustain against this retake.
Gathering now, not a whole lot of utility to work with Zan. Is going to have one flag. Just going to take that straight up through, though. Raise. Force reload. What a tap on the lace. Now picking up the Cypher as well. The array of agents that she plays, but it's Zan to clutch things out. Headshots ringing with a ghost across the board. Pistol round in the hands of Noot Noot.
Unreal already from Zan. They were excellent on the Raze last map, and they are continuing it here on Bind. That Yoru flash doing everything to get that double. That's just perfection with the ghost, but you really have to give credit earlier on to these two defenders. Carrie, she did so much work to hold the line, gave an opportunity for Summertime to swing through that smoke as well, and bought the time that Noot Noot needed for Zan to win that clutch.
Noot Noot carrying that momentum from the first map win. Their pick of Lotus. Strong map for Cole. On the verge of getting this win here. Already on their deepest run ever. Complexity fighting for an opportunity to make it all the way back to the finals, what they did in Stage 2, to qualify for Game Changers Champions for the very first time.
And if Noot Noot want to do the same, if they want to make some kind of miracle run happen, it would be a lot harder. They'd have to beat version 1, go on probably the most miraculous run we've ever seen in Game Changers, but all that has to start here. They've proved themselves against so many top-level opponents, but in multiple situations, it slipped away from them. Versus Shopify, versus V1. They actually have a chance here to complete the upset versus Complexity.
I'm excited to see what we have in store from this Complexity side when we move on to the gun rounds, how they're going to deal with this Yoru. How they're going to nullify Noot Noot here, a map they've been so strong on.
Yoru is getting a lot more play these days, so maybe not quite the odd commodity it once was. But still, they've shown surprises up their sleeve already in this series, and see go round should have been a bit cleaner than it has been. Already 2 players from Team Noot Noot are back in control. The spike is on the ground, and well, they lose quite a few guns there. They do convert the round.
Yeah, that is a fair amount of damage done. They are still going to bring the rifles into the next, crucially, when you do opt for that second round sort of FPX buy that they popularized last year that has really carried over into the mainstream meta.
It's interesting to see Cole still fully behind the full armor strategy. So many teams have kind of committed to that half armor buy. They're not on board with that one quite yet, maybe fearing some of the chip utility that the other side has with that Brim Molly, with that Raze nade as well.
It looks like we have an aggressive play in store for us on this bonus round from Noot. You can see Zan is speeding in there. Flash pop, gonna swing, but it's hard to shut that down. Always excellent holding the angles with a rifle in hand. It is what she is so proficient at. Dog for a bit of additional pressure. Let's walk all the way through, gonna take that duel through the smoke. Gets one. Aggressive line taken from Noot Noot. Oh my god, on the flank.
Walked all the way around in this one, but only a Sheriff can. How much can she get done? Millie, instead, is the one to do it all. 2 swift kills with only a Sheriff, and now a 3 versus 2 situation in the favor of Noot Noot. Complexity will work their way slowly towards it. They've already revealed that at least one player was working on the flank with that Skydog invested, and they're fully contacting this one. Millie will be second up to bat. Carry in control at first. Kara, though, around the corner. And in the smoke is Millie. Does she strike at the right time? Maybe not. 1v1 now. Carry has to close this one out, and the damage was already done for Claudia to clutch things up.
Such a crucial recovery from Claudia. How many times have we seen from Noot Noot already? One player just able to get 2 kills with headshots. The traitor swinging from Cole, and they just get domed down as well. These players are fantastic. The individual skill is just off the charts.
In round 4, Zan already has that Yoru ultimate online. The dimensional drift can start to show us some of those ideas Noot Noot may have cooked up with this comp.
Complexity in danger of the economy getting cracked here. And there's that ultimate straight off the jump.
Another one of these forward plays. Down A, Spike will be spotted. They know that this is a default already, and it will trigger a bit of an aggressive play forward here. Zan just TPing back out to safety. That is a lot of map control, though, for Noot.
Yeah, that information has allowed these Noot Noot players to claim space all the way down hookah. Complexity well aware of that, though. They're going to hit the gas, go into A. Ooh, great response. Great call from Jazzy.
Zan, a few flashes to work with. This comp, really that second initiator as well, but ahead of the flash goes Millie, not blinding anyone on front sight, and that may be the mistake that costs the round for Noot. 2 players are flanking, and they broke the Cypher trick, so info is here, but Malibu is there. Raze takes down 2 instead, and Complexity maintain control as Zan falls as well. It's a second round on the board.
Great response from Complexity, the swiftness into the A site, understanding they lost control on B. Jazzy, the IGL, the duelist, taking that space into lamps. Really, really nice call.
And that will be the reset point for Noot Noot's economy. I think that moment, Millie swinging through the smoke, was probably the catalyst for them losing that round. I think the idea was to have a flash play off the Yoru to bait in for that flank. It doesn't really work out.
Now Complexity with an opportunity to take the lead. Flash and showers upcoming. Off the Sky Flash. You're always going to see that Raze Sky Duo trying to take space there. You can see that Noot Noot want to go for this aggressive line. Dog coming through the TP as well. Trying to create an opening for Zan to swing. They are going to get control of showers, but 5v5, the situation we remain in.
And that wall is in vogue now on this map, the one that goes through B to block everything off and then out showers. But it's especially nice when paired with this Yoru, because you can always be walking your Yoru up into showers with very little risk and taking that space on the defensive side.
Complexity now preparing themselves for big hit onto B. Look at the new rotations. They've got the read on this.
Do they have the shot? I've heard about the GC peak before. Let's see if they have possibility with their sheriffs in hand to get that one done. It seems unlikely in this round. Maybe Zan, though, is going to change the tides of that one. 2 heads picked up. Dart is there around the other side, and Millie contended with on the flank. It looked like there was an opportunity for about a moment, but Complexity stay in control for the moment.
At all times, these individuals from Noot Noot making me believers when they're in the toughest of situations, somehow just finding themselves making headshots happen, frags happen out of thin air.
It's unreal what they can pull off. But this will be another shot. Rifle v rifle. Complexity, some great ults to work with. Brim ult to get into the site or hold on in the post. And for their mid rounds as well, they do have those Sky Seekers online. Noot Noot not going to go for any more aggressive plays. Instead, it's just back to their standard showers control setup.
Heavily focused on that shower control, as you mentioned. Similar shade of what we witnessed on Lotus, where they were always controlling towards that A side. Same thing here.
You see the strength of that Yori, though. Already dipping out, setting up a gate crash to TP back the other way. They want to make a re-clear here towards B long, and players have been spotted. How many are noted? How many are they ready for? Flash forward. Noot Noot take down one. Summertime. Another off the adjustment. It is an excellent setup from Noot Noot that nets some 3 frags and the spike.
I love that play with the Yoru early towards A and then able to get over towards B. Nice little flash banked off the wall to set up that triple swing. The layers from Noot Noot with this composition are dense, just peeling back one by one, and Cole picking this map they have to be ready for anything.
Enemy remaining.
I love the way that these yellow flashes in... Okay, wait a second. Lacey was making that one a bit close, but it's no more than just those 2 kills. But back to the point, those Euro flashes really allow the Sky to solely focus on info in the mid-round. Dogging through the teleporter, flashing long B. It gives you great map control, and you still have these Euro flashes with an agent who's always in the right place because those fast rotations to set up trap plays like this one.
It is just excellent watching a team like Noot Noot, an unsigned team, just making their way to the top through both individual prowess, but the ability to play comps like this in such a fantastic manner, both as a team with the ideas, and here's that shower control early again, but Complexity going straight up off that Viper wall, taking Lance control. They won a round off a similar hit previously.
Rocket up, Malibu claims her own life, but knocks down one with her as well. Kara, though, finding 2 kills of her own. Jazzy with the judge sneaking around the other side of the smoke, and no one in a position to die to it just yet, as it has to be this retake in the 2 versus 4, and all of these angles being watched.
One enemy
Seriously.
remaining.
Carry will be eventually traded, and Summertime shouldn't be long for this one. The shot was beautiful, but the rocket enough to close out.
Complexity with another nice little call, adding in that fast A hit again at the perfect time. Jazzy, once again, just displaying this innate ability as the IGL to consistently make the right decision for the team. She's really been so fantastic in this role. A student of Mel, playing all that time with C9 White, picking up so much knowledge from osmosis, and is now just one of the best IGLs in the scene.
Your ult, yet again for Zen, and it's the same idea as previous, really just using this as an information tool as Malibu follows it up, and it was all built around that orbital strike, but it doesn't find a connection. Summertime, the next to bat teleports through. This pinch is so aggressive, but Malibu is so alone. That hero rifle will fall, and Millie in a bit of trouble. Her position revealed, only the Sheriff in hand. Summertime will try and distract, but it's not enough to keep her teammate alive, and Lizanne has found damage. It's unlikely to be around. Still 2v4, only 1 player to anchor this site, and Zan's down.
I love the approach from Complexity here. Frankly, this Cypher is going to pay dividends against the aggressive nature of this Noot Noot comp on defense.
So many times these flanks have been spotted out, and yet again, they're very aware exactly where Carry is going to be coming from.
Cleaned up these Complexity, just inviting that defensive aggression in, just getting absolutely slaughtered. Noot Noot, can they switch up the approach here? I'd like to see what else they have in store for us with this Yoru comp. So far, Complexity making us understand why they decided to pick this map, despite Noot Noot always being victorious on it.
You have to give so much credit to Lacey. You were mentioning earlier her flexibility, playing across initiators onto pretty much any role you could imagine. This time it's the Cypher, of course, but she's still excellent on it, providing great information towards these extremities, and also those aforementioned tripwires that have proved critical against these aggressive setups.
It is a nice counter composition. Zan prodding forward, many sheriffs in hand.
Got the spike.
For the Noot Noot side. And again, Complexity, they are going to play this slow default, and that's exactly what they need to do.
Dog through short. Show the Brimstone are looking in the smoke. It shouldn't be too big of an issue. Surely not, and it won't be. Raze contends with that one quite swiftly, and Complexity full control on A for the moment, and will do a little bit of damage, as we've seen in pretty much every one of these lower buy rounds thus far. But Cole's still taking their time on this one. Jazzy, though, maybe rushing things a bit too much, swings into the backside. Zan has another. The second eco, where we've seen multiple Sheriff kills from them, but is it enough to close out the round this time? Zan will lurk forward into the smoke. Here's the Brimstone, now shooting out that molly on the other side, but is unable to find the head at the right moment. Malibu locked off, ensnared by the tripwire, her position fully revealed. The walk around the other side is excellent to deal with Summertime, who cannot find the second head. Malibu, a very unwinnable situation here. The Viper wall in her face, and Claudia swinging out of it for the win.
Damage done, but damage irrelevant as Complexity have won a string of rounds in a row now. That's going to be 3, and you can see the economy on their side. Out of control, full armors, abundant rifles. Nice back to that operator. She's just really had a penchant for buying that here. It's something we didn't, at least from my memory, I see a whole lot of in the past. Picking it up even on this Cypher, that new role for her.
When Jazzy's playing this race, someone else has got to take charge, and seems like Lacey, no matter the agent, will be the player to do so. This is their answer to that showers control that has been pretty effective for Noot Noot thus far this game.
Yeah, the op, fantastic at nullifying aggression.
Orbs grabbed up here for Jazzykins. And it's going to be actually a really heavy rotate for Noot Noot, maybe for good reason, because they've lost summertime, maybe just were peeking a bit on that angle, but Cole was never committed. They have so much time to work with.
They are really believing this, Noot Noot. They are believing that it's going to be a B hit. That was a massive rotation call. The A site vacant.
They're going to have to try and flood back in. 3 players going back the other way. That's because of the walk-up you see from Zan on the Yoru.
Ensnare their complexity. If this flank does come through, you're going to see Zan able to TP past that. Are they going to have the awareness here?
Are they ready for Zan? They're so fast up short. The discipline, it's there for the moment. Kari's only 1 kill, but Zan wants something more. First frag, second there on the flick as well, but no time to use
30 seconds left.
So now things even out with 30 seconds on the clock. Malibu is getting antsy, and that might be her undoing. She's atop the bench. Sits Jazzy, and she'll find a double. Carry now alone in this endeavor. Will kill the spike but can she do more? The op is spotted. Lacey holding the line on one side, the Rays on the other. Where has she gone? It's a ring around the Rosie. Past the box on one side, towards the other. It's Jazzykins. Ducked into a new position, a new angle, but it doesn't matter because Lacey is unreal with the op.
Carry getting absolutely played by that complexity duo, excuse me, trying to wind her way around the box. Excellent recovery from complexity. Firmly in control of this. Ow. My god, they're making us understand why this was okay.
My biggest question now is, this is another chance for Noot Noot to prove the mental resiliency, because we have to think back to the previous games that they've let slip. Remember, 13-11, a loss against version 1. They had a map versus Shopify, a chance to be in the upper final right now if they had been able to win that. But now they're down here in the lowers. You can kind of have that little bit of fear in the back of your head. Is this the same situation again? Do we have the resiliency to stay in this one?
Crunch coming through. Zulu trying to set up a very aggressive play. They are going to catch one. They are actually going to be able to retreat out of here and survive. Do more than that. Claim another. Complexity under some serious pressure, ensnared by the Noot Noot side. Able to come out on top nonetheless.
Right, it seems like the only rounds that we're really seeing get close for Noot Noot have been these ecos. It's some hero plays by Zan, 2Ks with the Sheriff, but we're not seeing much consistency right now from this defense.
Complexity really have come into this map with an excellent understanding of how to shut down the Noot Noot game plan. Lace has been critical to that, not necessarily always getting the kills, but just controlling part of the map. I mean, this is just absurd. How are we witnessing this time and time again? This should not be happening in any conceivable way.
It's 1v2. I mean, they only have a Sheriff.
30
There's
seconds
still
left.
some utility, though. This really shouldn't be something that you see happen. Already a post plan in, already revealed by the dart. It is Zan, but even this seems beyond their wheelhouse. The reposition from Raze is already excellent. Posting position in the elbow. Can Zan read into that? Can they isolate another head? Make another heroic moment happen? Can it net around this time? It won't. Lace is there, held strong on the angle, and the operator, again, that catalyst to bring complexity, their 8th round.
That early control that Lace is able to garner with the Cypher setups, so pivotal. It's allowing complexity to consistently get big information on one area of the map. Typically, we're seeing it towards B, and Jazzy's calling off the back, and that's so effective.
Timeout here, ahead of the 12th round of this half for Noot Noot. Only the second time we've seen them feel pressured enough to have to call one of these.
Perhaps too late into this half. They've been a bit one note, frankly. They've been going for these aggressive lines time and time again, and complexity well prepared for it. Also, at this point, really, the comp that they run is frankly, just a great counter to this Noot Noot comp. It really does make sense the more we go on watching this, why they opted to take it to this map, despite Noot Noot only losing one time on it in 2023 to version 1 barely. Complexity, so far, having a stronger showing than version 1 against them.
Last chance here for Noot Noot to build something more of this half. They again have that Yoru ultimate. We're considering the option of buying into an operator here, but I really want to see something new.
Previously, they popped that Yoru ultimate straight away at the beginning of the round. We'll see if they have intentions to do so yet again.
Doesn't look like it. You're a little bit further back this time. It has the looks of their more default extremity control setup. This is here though, and the shot misses this time. Malibu just doesn't give a damn. Swings straight through it, takes the head off the Cypher. But the Rocket's here, and how has Millie gotten there? She explodes in the smoke, finds 2 kills. Can they find her? Absolutely not. Peekaboo. It's another frag for the Brimstone, and it's Jazzy left alone, smoked off on the other side of the world, revealed by this Yoru ultimate as well. Should all be over in but a moment. She's so blind. The damage is done, and
God.
Carrie's just running her down.
Millie is something else on the defensive side. The anchoring is locked down. I like that response from Cole, too. They got the information on that shower push with Lace going down. Jazzy decides, I'm going to instant satchel in, ultimate pop, get that flank, and then it was all on Millie to fight off that second wave when Jazzy leapt over her. Fantastic job shutting it down.
A very silly end to the half, but maybe that whimsy, the catalyst to bring Noot Noot back into this one. New questions to be posed around what can they achieve with the Yoru in this second half. It seems like it might again be centered on controlling these extremities and getting those fast rotations.
Cutting through.
Fairly standard looking opening here from Complexity. There's going to be an early flash into Fountain for information. Flash is exchanged, in fact, up B long. It looks like there is going to be a little bit of a brawl here, but the smoke down is going to stop that before it really begins. Dog coming out to re-clear. Nade off the back of that. A lot of utility extracted.
And there's the power of that Yoru. Gets a kill towards Showers, instantly out of dodge. Back with their team on the other side of the map. It's going to be an A split here. It's going to be Lacey for duty to hold. The tripwire's great, but she doesn't quite have the bullets to find the connection. I think the Sky Flashes are actually blinding her enough to deny that tripwire the kill that it so earned.
You can see Noot Noot biding the time. They're not getting ahead of themselves. It's going to be a flash for backside of Zan. Watching Heaven, they know they still have to deal with Lace there at triple. Are going to pick up that angle as well. Noot Noot are feeling some pressure here, but they are just baiting in these Complexity swings with the spike taps. I love the patience. So efficient from them.
Noot Noot is so good in pistol rounds. 2 for 2 in this map if they can close things out. It was a big point of their victory on the first map as well. Momentum clearly key for a squad like this. As it's now Claudia. 1v3, only 25 HP to speak of. A tap on the spike, and that swing surely imminent. Just around the corner, flash won't connect onto anything, but the bullets will out of Millie. One shot to the chest, and it's Noot Noot up to 5. And Wyatt, this game looked unsalvageable if you had just watched that first half. But these pistol rounds, winning both of them, have kept Noot Noot in this. They're only trailing by 3.
It was on the first map. We saw Complexity almost make a comeback come to fruition. When the sides swap, we'll see if Noot Noot have the ability to do the same here. The first time at a significant deficit in this series.
Cutting through.
Closing out this round cleanly, it's going to be paramount for Noot Noot. We've seen a lot of sloppy anti-egos out of them. Pull back to that first half where they almost let this round slip away. It's just a share for Zan, and that's great information. And a 1-for-1 trade will make the call for a B pivot.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see a fast play into B from Noot Noot. That is so much information gained. That is what we're going to get. In the meantime, though, you can see Complexity is still locking down Hookah in this post-plant situation. This could spell trouble for perhaps one Noot Noot player that's unaware. You can see Carrie just slowly working her way back.
They have to be suspicious at this point, though. Malibu has only seen one player towards spawn. So now someone has to be watching that dropout from Hookah. And that time is already so far gone for Complexity to try and make anything of this. Just getting a little bit more damage. Obviously, that goal here.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just going to try and claim as many guns as they can here after suffering yet another pistol loss. This pistol's so pivotal for Noot Noot to try and make this win manifest, to make their run continue. A slim chance, but a chance nonetheless at actually making it all the way here in Game Changers 3 and qualifying 4 champions. This is the first on that long road to doing so. 4 wins in a row is what they need, and this is the first of them.
At the beginning of the show, we heard from the coach of Noot Noot that they thought they were a favorite even to make it into the finals. You could call it unbridled confidence, belief in your team, and it probably is. But still, you can't deny how good this team has been. Their growth from even the open qualifiers to now in the main event, playing against the best teams in this entire scene. And putting them to the test, they already beat DSG. That was a top placing squad in GC2. And they're on the precipice of doing the same here against Cole.
And they've just had no problem dealing with these situations where they're feeling the weight, the pressure of the situation. This being their greatest tournament run so far, the confidence that they play with unshaken.
You see that Yoru clone actually clearing out the trick mark, or excuse me, the trap wire there in the showers. Another strength of this somewhat unique agent choice.
In the meanwhile, as we will often see here on Bind, that standard attack side Viper wall that allows the lurk into Lance. Going up and down, being played with by Kari, Zan in tow. Just trying to get a little bit of information. Prod towards A, threaten their presence. Beta rotate us. It looks like the real hit is going to come here late on B.
We saw indecision be the death of Noot Noot on their Lotus mid-rounds. Will they fall victim to that clock yet again? 30 seconds, and their spike dropped on the floor. They're going to have to sell an excellent fake here if they want to try and buy rotations over towards B. Instead, it will be that teleporter hit. This contingency plan isn't good enough to stay in it. Zan's down straight through the smoke, but that spike has time to be planted. That is, unless this flood is fast from Cole, and it is swift as ever. Noot Noot, though, still alive in this one. Carrie has found 3 kills, leaving Claudia alone. How did they turn that one around?
I love the rotation call to take the TP, but yet again, we are witnessing Complexity on defense. Steadfast. They do not get baited by the pressure from Noot Noot, their desire to spread the defenders around. They are just so confident in their reads, but it's the Noot Noot skill that we have been seeing all map take them over the line in this one.
And Claudia's not even making a go for it. Just gonna tuck tail, try and hold on to this weapon. And look at the money on Complexity. 4 players at 0 credits. This is a crippling round to lose.
That is the downside when you opt to make the financial decisions that Complexity do, namely their desire to be with that full armor realistically at all times.
It's always a risk reward. That might have allowed them a sheriff or something into this next round, but they're not going to have much. Noot Noot, despite the fact that that first half, honestly, was abysmal in moments. It was complete momentum escaping them. Their pistol rounds and their mental resiliency is again keeping them in one of these matches that doesn't really feel like they should have a chance to come back into.
Claudia carrying that hero rifle over. Noot Noot with an opportunity to fully erode the lead that Complexity worked so hard for on their attack side.
This would tie things up. And Cole, taking a page out of Noot Noot's book, will be walking up through short. Brilliant shot by Jazzykins onto Zan. That's the start they wanted.
We'll work some map control here. Our Noot Noot pressuring now towards Hookah. It looks like they want to beat the rotations. They get info on one player. That's Ray's forced to back up into elbow. Now smoked off and Lace. Sneaky with the Bucky. In a situation where she might be able to make something happen, Raze is going to go down. Look at this adjustment from Noot Noot. They're just pushing aggro well there.
They're all the way through spawn. No one is even bothered by the sight. It doesn't matter because Malibu is just cutting them down. Farming away at those eco-frags. There's the 4th kill. Malibu on for the ace. It's only the Bucky in the sight, and she wants it. Gun bullet, and it's all she needs. Malibu is unreal.
coming to life on the Rays. It doesn't seem to matter what Agent Malibu's playing. You're just going to witness individual greatness. And what a lovely mid-round adjustment from Noot Noot. The decision to avoid the site where they felt players could be entrenched. And right, they were. It's where Lace was with the Bucky. They circle around, pressure elbow. They knew Rays was there. Great adaptation. Great mid-round decision. 4
rounds in a row now, Wyatt, for Noot Noot on this attacking side. Complexity have another shot at the rifle so to break this momentum. If they lose here, it will be the first moment where this map is out of their control.
We're going to see that early shower fight as we have time and time again. Responsibility on Zen, the Yoru. Effective in that area in the map, the Complexity. They are going to keep that control.
Long is taken here for the side of Noot Noot. The shower is still very much under the control of Complexity. They do seem to be focused, however, on these faster BXX. It worked last round with the Yoru Walt online as well. They're going to make the same decisions to get those smokes, though, give an opportunity, a gap to push through, but it's the same call again. This pivot fast all the way around. The info is there, but the rocket is missing. The horror hop's just too good, but the shot's clean from Malibu, at least for one. Here comes Raze, though, swinging straight through the smoke to find a double, and they're still alive in the site as well. This round has fallen out of the control of Noot Noot, but the flash is good, and Zan sprays away, finds 2, but it's not enough for the round. Jazzykin saves it, and Complexity maintain the lead.
Coming down to the absolute thinnest of margins. So many cool little micro plays in that situation. I love Malibu chasing down the elbow player with the ultimate. That was Kara just hopping around, somehow dodging the rocket, the Yoru getting the info on that.
It's unreal.
In the meantime, it was Raze just concealed in the veil of that brimstone smoke, biding their time, popping out at the opportune moment to actually win out that round for Cole.
But for all the excellence from Millie, you have to assign some blame to her there. It was those smokes from Millie that Raze was hiding in. It gives so many opportunities to for defenders to swing through and find a gap like they did in that round.
So we're finally able to take the lead back here. You can see Lace is just playing in spawn. On that Cypher, able to rotate back and forth between the sites, getting the information based on those trips. It's what the A players are playing off of, and it's allowing her to be towards this B site.
3 players this time set up on B for Complexity. And it doesn't look like there's any big ults for Noot Noot to break their way into this one. Instead, it looks like he might get a new look. You see the gate crash committed, but instantly broken. So one piece of initiation, one piece of dive already taken off the cards. What's called a contact? They'll walk in ever so slowly. Kara takes first, and Zan is there for the first frag. Another crucial opener for this Yoru, but Lace is still entrenched on this site, not for long. Millie on the reply, and Jazzykin's now coming in with a showstopper of her own. Maintaining elbow, though, is critical, and Noot Noot have done so, but now they have to get rid of Jazzy, and this time she can't close it out. Noot Noot again tie us up.
The B site is just being dismantled piece by piece, picked apart by Noot Noot, mixing it up, throwing in this little contact play, walking in, holding the proper angles for each other. You saw the second one of those defending players swung out from the right side of the B tube, Crosshair trained on the angle, shut down immediately. Noot Noot have the individual skill to hit those shots requisite in a contact play like that, but the team play to be holding all the right angles for each other alongside it.
That's a big round, too. Complexity's economy now completely broken. Only classics on 4 of their members.
Trying to go for an aggressive play. They're going to pop out of this smoke with a flash. The Malibu playing anti, able to swing perfectly. Actually trading out 2 for 2, though. A result Cole will happily take. Rifles possibly able to be recovered. No, not able.
No chance of it. They retreated already. And while it was massive to get those kills, not getting the rifles means the chance of closing this one out is far more difficult.
I like this adjustment from Cole, though, stacking up 2 players and fake TP now from Noot Noot.
Power of Yoru in play. Kara needs information, and the Seekers will garner her that. All 3 broken, though. That could only reveal 1 player here.
A big commitment to use that ultimate on an eco round.
And another ult used as well.
Another!
That Brim orbital strike in. Only 1 TP. Now the second through, but Yoru is sticking around. Sam is so sneaky, and it's perfectly timed to now join the rest of their team over at the A site. What can Lacey do? So Pit invested from the other side to try and get through, but she still has this tripwire to work with. It's down now. Past it is Zan with that ult committed, and the spike now to be planted. Only 2 players left alive, and when this round started so risky, shouldn't be a way for Cole to close this one out. At least we'll find another with that Sheriff, but this Pit is so hard to break through. She does now have a gun and information as well with her ultimate. There's a chance at this one. A moment. She has to dive fast, though. Has to get ahead of this one, but they fall away. Another ult is committed to get her off that spike. And with that decay tallying up every time she inches into the pit, the chance of getting this one, despite the spam, despite the molly, seems just an impossibility. Time is already so far gone, and it's just a Sisyphean task to try and get a tap on this spike that won't become anything. Noot Noot, the first to double digits.
And you have to question, is it Cole, the team that are actually suffering at the tension of this situation, the weight of what's happening here, on the cusp of being knocked out by an unsigned team with a star player we've never seen compete at this level before, on this run in the lower bracket, Complexity, with a chance for the first time to make it to an international Game Changers event. And on a round like that, maybe, where we're seeing the ultimates used so haphazardly, you have to question what their mental is like right now. I love the timing for this timeout. I think they need it 100%.
I mean, if I'm Coach Joe right now, that round hurts to be watching from your position. This is the moment where you need to reset, because Cole has squandered a lot of their big tools, and they only have 3 more chances before Noot Noot closes this game out and eliminates Complexity. Remember, this was the squad top 2 in the last Game Changers. Everyone was predicting it would be them, it would be Shopify going to Brazil, joining version 1 there. Being eliminated at this stage would be unthinkable.
I can't imagine a better match to be more of a direct signifier of the era of Game Changers that we exist in right now. It was in Stage 2 that Complexity, this new squad, was able to crack into the top 2, something we haven't seen in years. And just one stage later, a new upcoming team on the verge of besting them in the lower bracket and making a deeper run. We are truly in a new era of Game Changers that is just filled to the brim with talented new players, talented new teams. It is just a fantastic time for the scene.
A pivotal round here for Complexity to pull things back into their control. This map has been slipping, but we've seen a lot of success out of their timeouts before. What's the adaptation now?
Fake teleport.
Same thing we've seen time and time again. It's Zan using that Yoru utility to control towards showers. The rest of Noot Noot, they're gathering up for this big A set. Smoke's coming down, utility coming through.
Malibu into the site, tip the spear again, but it's her teammates to get the kills instead. Already Kara and Claudia knocked out of the round. Those are big tools to make a retake happen. No blinds, no smokes to speak of. And look at the money. Even a commitment here would be a risk. Jazzy only has 4 health. The consideration to save has to be there, but Lace is just swinging out alone. No one was there to follow up, to trade her out. And this round already looks over. Complexity will retreat. Noot Noot have 11.
They are on the cusp of a fantastic win here. The economy in dire straits for Complexity. You can see Claudia at 0. Lace and Kara, just a total of 650 credits heading into one of the final rounds in this game. Complexity, the pressure on them right now, immense. And Noot Noot on the verge of what might be, not even might be, this would be their greatest victory they have ever found in their run as a team together.
4 out of 5 of their players have never made it to a Game Changers main event before. And if you look at the names of the teams they have beaten, DSG was a top squad. GC2, Complexity in that same boat. If they could get another upset on that tally, no one could deny how good this squad is, how much they belong in the top echelon of Game Changers.
And it was in Stage 2. They came in 9th through 12th place in Noot Noot. They made one change, and that was bringing in Malibu. And my god, the difference that has made, and the talent that we've seen displayed from Malibu, just outrageous. We're going to get early shower control here from Complexity.
Bait towards B with the Yoru and then immediately a teleport away. They're going to try and clear through showers here. Dog, though, doesn't reveal the raise in time. Will she get spotted? Absolutely not. Jazzy up for the first, and Kara dapping away with the Guardian. The weapon made for her.
God.
She's claiming 3 as well. Unreal performance from Kara.
I'm telling you, the Guardian was forged for the hands of Kara. That steady, reliable aim at all times. You cannot walk into a crosshair without getting tapped down like that. And there it is again. You are kidding.
It's unreal what Kara can do. You may be watching this game and you may forget what Complexity has done before, but these players have been on top for a long time for a reason. It's adaptations like that, the little bait play towards showers, and individual skill like this from Kara.
Things are not just over quite yet. Complexity, they brought it to OT on the previous map. This deficit, not as severe. They're looking to do it again.
Race as a judge, and the Viper's pit as well. It'll be popped instantaneously towards short. That's one area of the map, and they completely knocked off the possibility lists here for Noot Noot. They don't have that Yoru ult online.
Cypher Trip is going to get broken over an A shower, so that's going to be, albeit a small amount, but still an amount of pressure and eyes being forced to watch in that area now. And you can see Lace picking that up over towards the A site. It's Noot Noot who, in this moment, they're gathered more towards A. At Viper's pit, it's going to be such a hindrance if they go for a big execute there. And it's what's allowing the defending side of Cole to stack towards B.
Everything Cole has been doing this round has been attempting to funnel Noot Noot towards that B site. But they want to contest A instead. Rocket over the top. Will it land? Absolutely! Slam dunk for Raze. Trade was there, but that was such a pivotal kill onto the Viper's pit. And now Noot Noot, they have 45 seconds to play with. They'll commit into A, get a plant down, and have an opportunity to claim match point.
Millie as well. Molly in hand. So effective once you have the spike down on bind. But the location where you'd be playing this lineup from is currently being inhabited by these Cole flanking players, so they might find a fantastic timing to crack this host plant wide open. Zan on the angle.
On the watch. Suspicious as ever. One head taken. Kara back into things with the trade, so still Complexity have some semblance of control here. The Seekers give them great information. They know where all 3 members of Noot Noot are set up, and the dog will provide further pressure. That one-way popped, it buys time for these players to ford the river and eventually tap that spike. Lacey for the first, Kara for another, and Lacey on the cleanup as well. Complexity, a pivotal retake to win.
A retake just spurred on by the great utility from Kara being able to trade effectively on the flank. We've seen Zan so many times able to get that first headshot and actually take down the trader second as well. Not that time though. Kara has stepped up massively at the tail end of this game. A great supportive player, but one who at times we will see pull off magic like this in regards to the kills.
It's 11-11, and suddenly Noot Noot's wishes of closing this one out in 2 maps lie on this round. They lose here, that money starts to struggle, but they do have a massive tool, that Yoru ult online.
One more round away here. Either team to be at least locked up in overtime. And there is that Yoru ult gathering information on grenade, but it's a shower push. Lovely first shot for Kara. Traded out though, and shower control maintained for defensive Cole side.
Look at where this Yoru is gone though. Running all the way up to heaven. Zan, impeccable on the transfer. Another kill found as well. Zan's unreal. No one could say they knew this player's name before this game changes, but they are proving themselves against the best teams.
I mean, that is illegal. That is inhuman. No one should be hitting that shot on this planet. Malibu close up with a judge, but the random just kind of haphazard spray through the wall, and now Lace reminding you why she's touted as one of the best in this scene, dragging things back into a 2-on-2, a nigh unwinnable round. The timing from Lace is absolutely flawless, able to clean things up. OT secured for Complexity in the most dire round imaginable.
Lace is unreal. You see Zan pulling something like that off, an impossible flick. Surely the round would be won, but it all comes down to one player, and it is Lacey. When they went on their run, made top 2 in the last Game Changers, it was predicated on her flexibility, her excellence as an individual. And when her team needs her, she is stepping up again.
One round away from bringing this to map 3, Complexity at a deficit, making this comeback happen. Round open, similar to what we've seen before. It's Zan taking that early duel against the opposing duelist Chazzy.
Noot Noot putting a lot of pressure on this A site, but no semblance of a will to commit to it. Complexity will get a little aggressive towards short, though.
If that Viper wall goes up, they want to be able to retain that information, make sure that no one is going
Ari's
to
in trouble. Just around the other side, she's not looking whatsoever. And on the other side, the op shot from Lacey is missing out as well. So that's an advantage for Cole. Can they take us to a third map?
Lacey is not the player I'd want to be walking into right now. If I were one of these attackers, shot through the smoke and Raisin. A smoker themselves just spraying down these Noot attackers.
It's unbelievable. Millie is in an unwinnable situation. And from a game that looked like it was Noot Noot's to win, they had opportunities, but Lacey steps up big time in the last few rounds, and Cole send us to a third map.
That was pure magic from Complexity at the end. That 2K from Zan on the second last round is those are some of the that was like, I've never seen such a crazy shot in such an
That's like the best clip I've ever seen.
Moment in the game.
That doesn't win you a round.
I know, it's unbelievable that did not win them the round. I am still just stunned by that. Lacey able to get 4 off that one. On the previous rounds, Kara as well, the 4K with the Guardian. I mean, Complexity, they were down, not out by any means. What a series we've had so far. This is an insane matchup.
Another unreal map here, but we have one more left to go. This series will be decided after this break. Will it be Complexity, a chance to make it to Game Changers Champions in Brazil, to defend that second place placement, or will it be Noot Noot adding another name to the list of teams they've upset? We'll find out in but a moment.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro.
Sean, do you mean this one, the one with titanium? Switch to Verizon. You can trade in any iPhone and get the new iPhone 15 Pro on them.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a new iPhone 15 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.